Rap can be a wild industry, even for the OGs. Just recently, 2 rappers associated with the Wu-Tang Clan, 12 O'Clock and Murdock, were killed in a shooting in Portland, Oregon. Let's take a closer look at this story. The Wu-Tang Clan is one of the most legendary groups in hip-hop. With classic songs like Cream, Protect Your Neck, and Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to F With, the Wu have cemented themselves as one of the most influential groups in rap. What made them so unique was their status as a 9-member collective and network of countless affiliates. This allowed them to play off each other's strengths and create something that had never been seen before in hip-hop or music in general. But over the years, they've had their creative differences and have gone off to launch their own solo careers, some being more successful than others. The most tragic story of all the Wu-Tang members is the career of Ol' Dirty Bastard, who passed away from a drug overdose in 2004, just 2 days shy of his 36th birthday. Now, just recently, 2 of ODB's Brooklyn Zoo affiliates have been shot and killed in Northwest Portland, Oregon. Ol' Dirty Bastard was one of the wildest characters in the history of hip-hop. His raspy, drug-fueled melodic style of rapping was completely new at the time, but has gone on to influence a whole generation of rappers to approach music from a unique perspective. The rapper grew up in the Fort Greene neighborhood of Brooklyn. He was the cousin of Robert Diggs and Gary Grice, aka the RZA and the GZA, and together they would form the Wu-Tang Clan in the early 90s. ODB also had 2 other cousins who were not quite as famous, Odeon and David Turner, who were also known by their rap names 12 O'Clock and Murdock. Outside of the Wu-Tang Clan, ODB had a separate collective called Brooklyn Zoo, which 12 O'Clock and Murdock were a part of. ODB founded Brooklyn Zoo around the same time that he was recording his debut solo project, Return to the 36th Chambers, the Dirty version, which was released in March 1995. The project contains an ODB solo track called Brooklyn Zoo, which is one of his most popular releases to date. It also contained the posse cut, Protect Your Neck 2, The Zoo, which featured all the members from the collective, including Buddha Monk, Prodigal Son, Zookeeper, Killer Priest, Shorty Shitstain, 60-Second Assassin, and of course, 12 O'Clock and Murdock. The song was another one of the most popular tracks on the project because of its raw lyricism and how it's introduced hardcore fans to a whole new cast of characters in the Wu-Tang universe. Return to the 36 Chambers was the second solo project to be released by a Wu-Tang member after Method Man's Tikal. It became an instant hip-hop classic and was nominated for Best Rap Album at the 1996 Grammys. But despite his success in the music industry, ODB struggled with addiction throughout his career, which didn't make him the same kind of group leader that the RZA was for the Wu-Tang. Although in many ways ODB was a creative genius, he would also suffer from severe mental health problems, which fueled his drug addictions. But even without ODB's direct guidance, Brooklyn Zoo was the first and most well-known of all the Wu-Tang affiliate groups. From behind the scene, the crew was run by his cousin, who went by the name the Zookeeper. In an unverified post on the Wu-Tang message board, the Zookeeper broke down how the Brooklyn Zoo came to be. He said, "Brooklyn Zoo is not just a rap group. We have a deep history of culture, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the way of life. We spread this message through our music. Our roots run deep. Our strong foundation allows us to see, prepare, and create the future of not just music, but of culture itself." He continued on to say, "I'm remembering when Dirty was putting together one of his songs in his apartment on Lenox and 132nd Street. Me, 12, and Dirty sat down on his couch watching Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy, when I said, it's time for us to come out with our group, and I told Dirty we should call the group Ol' Dirty Bastard Brooklyn Zoo. That's how Brooklyn Zoo came about, Protect Your Neck Part 2, one of the hottest songs on his first album. He also revealed the blood relationships between each of the members, stating, first, 12 O'Clock is my oldest brother. Shorty Shitstain is my youngest brother. Murdock is my first cousin, and Buddha Monk was a friend of the family since we were very young." He even goes more in depth about his relationship with ODB, the RZA, and the GZA, stating, "I was always a protector and guardian of my family, so I gave myself the name the Zookeeper, and Dirty tried to take my name. But I was like, how you gonna be both Ol' Dirty Bastard and the Zookeeper? Just thinking back on that shit makes me laugh. There's a lot of history with Brooklyn Zoo and Wu-Tang that people don't know. Dirty, RZA, and Genius are my older cousins, but we don't say cousins. Keeping with our Indian culture, we say brothers because they are my big brothers. They were the founders of Wu-Tang. Brooklyn Zoo was the first killer bees of that clan, but we never got a chance to spread our wings." So it seems like even though ODB was the face of the group, his cousin the Zookeeper was really watching over the collective and making sure everyone was straight, at least according to him. But the group never truly got a chance to flourish because their well-known figure was dealing with fame and his own personal demons. Over the years, ODB's behavior would get increasingly more erratic. Just after the release of his first album, he would famously bring his children to collect food stamps in a limousine while being profiled by MTV. Even though the stunt would be hilarious to his fans, his lavish lifestyle would lead to long-term problems.
Cash rules everything around me, baby. Cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all. You never forget that. You know, rich. You know what I'm saying? Look, just look how I'm living, baby. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got a quarter?
Thank you.
I'm tired of being poor, man. Have a good day. Give me the food stamps. How much money you got here? right, we good to go. Come on. Come on. You need a strong hand to guide you through the night.
In 1997, he would be arrested for failure to pay child support for 3 of his children, and the following year, he would plead guilty to an attempted assault on his wife. Plus, the same year, he would be arrested for stealing a pair of $50 sneakers, even though he had about $500 cash on him at the time. In 1999, he was involved in a variety of legal problems, including allegedly shooting at police officers, driving without a license, possession of crack cocaine, and wearing a bulletproof vest as a convicted felon. He would eventually be ordered to attend a drug rehabilitation program, but escaped in October 2000 and spent 1 month as a fugitive. During that time, he even appeared on stage with the Wu-Tang at a performance at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York and was eventually arrested while signing autographs outside the McDonald's in Philadelphia. He was sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison for the incident and didn't get out until 2003. Then, on November 13, 2004, ODB collapsed around 4:30 p.m. at RZA's recording studio in Manhattan and was later pronounced dead. The rapper had recently been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and his autopsy revealed that he had a lethal mix of crack cocaine and the prescription opioid tramadol in his system. But even after ODB's death, Brooklyn Zoo continued to honor his legacy. In 2008, they released a group project called Chamber No. 9, Verse 32. The tape featured guest appearances from the RZA and the GZA, as well as the various members of Brooklyn Zoo. Now, years later, 2 more members of the crew would meet their end under tragic circumstances. On August 11, 2021, police confirmed that Wu-Tang affiliates and Brooklyn Zoo founding members 12 O'Clock and Murdock had been shot and killed in Northwest Oregon. The shooting occurred around 5:30 a.m. on August 10th in the area of North 82nd and Milton Street. The shooting was captured on home surveillance footage and left the 2 rappers killed and 4 others critically wounded. Police have not released much information about the shooting, other than these basic facts, but it has been confirmed that Odeon Turner, aka 12 O'Clock, and David Turner, aka Murdock, were the 2 fatalities. 12 O'Clock was only 50 years old, and Murdock was 45. Several people close to the rappers also confirmed the news on social media. Divine Turner, 12 O'Clock's son, took to social media to announce that his father had been killed. In a video posted to Instagram, he said, "So I'm out of town, away from home on business, and I get the call that they murdered my father," Turner said. "I don't know what to do," with the caption, "It's a sad day for me. They assassinated my father," in #Oregon. Young Dirty Bastard, the son of ODB, also mourned the death of his older relatives, writing in an IG post, "RIP 12 O'Clock, RIP Murdock. They were my father's tightest blood bonds. My 2 older cousins were just assassinated. Love y'all. Blood forever. Brooklyn Zoo." Plus, Princessa Rainer Turner, 12 O'Clock's wife for more than 20 years, mourned her husband's death, saying, August 10th, 2021. "How could one day bring so much joy and so much pain? My heart doesn't know how to separate being empty and full at the same time." Stefan Turner, aka the Zookeeper, even gave his version of what went down. He says that 12 O'Clock and Murdock were in a tan-colored RV trailer with 12 O'Clock's younger brother that was parked in an abandoned lot on Northeast 82nd Ave. Someone came and asked for a cigarette. When Murdock opened up the door, the stranger started firing off shots. The Zookeeper also said that the murder was motivated by jealousy, lust, hate, and greed, but didn't go into further detail. 12 O'Clock and Murdock's deaths were the 57th and 58th homicides in Portland this year, which is already more than the entire year of 2020. At this point, there isn't enough information available to know what truly happened. Rest in peace to 12 O'Clock and Murdock. Hopefully, justice will be served and they'll eventually find the person responsible for killing these hip-hop legends. Stay tuned for future updates on this case.